Welcome to Backstage with Kennedy. This slow show will be your remedy. From Toronto, spanning across the sea. Cool people, lots of laughs. This is your favorite podcast.
Oh, 7 days without the sun. Yeah, it gets lonely without your gun. But when there's rain, at least there's you, babe. Those cold, cold nights with the steel under you. 'Cause it's real, to me, yeah, oh, me. Standing here, you know it's fear, that's fun. When I'm not here, you're on the run. The drought is near, you can tell by the paste on your tongue. Oh, we gotta move, get on it out. Don't forget the gun. 'Cause it's red. To me, yeah, yeah, oh me, yeah, yeah, me. Yeah, you think you're something now, that's cool. We're all haters, traitors, lovers, and fakers, it's true. We've got our money, our rations, and our souls. We gotta get them now with the steel oh so cold. We gotta move, get on it out. Don't forget the gun. You gotta move, get on it out. Don't forget the gun. Yeah, yeah. Don't forget the gun. 'Cause it's
Hello and welcome to the Backstage with Kennedy show. I'm here with Jess Abran today. She's from Montreal. She's a singer-songwriter, super talented, does a lot of like social media content as well, and incredible at that as well. I would go as far as saying influencer. But yeah, so Jess, how you doing?
Thanks for having me, first off. Quite the introduction.
Yeah, hey, anytime. Yeah, so quarantine and stuff like that.
Yeah, quarantine. Quarantine's nuts. I'm going day by day. How are you? Are you
I'm
holding
getting
up?
by. I'm getting by.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
It's
like
weird
this. Oh, 100%. I got this killer asthma right now, so everybody thinks I'm sick, and I'm like, I'm good. I swear. I swear.
Oh,
Yeah.
and you must be getting
Yeah.
looks wherever you go.
100%. That's why I'm trying to stay in the house as much as possible. But hey, it's a good time for creativeness, you know?
Yeah.
So what's your favorite part of the creative process, Jess? So is it like I realize that you're a very good songwriter. Um some of the things you say in your songs is really powerful.
Oh.
Um so how like what's your favorite part? Is it performing? Is it writing? What do you enjoy the most?
Sorry, it's just the nature of my job right now is
Yeah.
literally to be the interviewee. I've been doing, sorry, this is just such a sidebar, but I've been doing upwards of 50 plus interviews with artists across the globe during this pandemic. Usually I'd be traveling to see all of these people, but
Yeah.
due to the zombie apocalypse, like literally my job has been asking these questions to artists every day, and it's
Oh.
weird to have it now turned around on me.
No doubt.
Okay. My favorite part of the creative process. Um Performing. It would have to be performing, which is very I miss it a lot. I haven't performed a live show in, I'd have to say, maybe over 2 years because of I was mostly, my being is the music industry and the
Yeah.
entertainment industry as a whole, but like I started out doing music, and I've been doing this for almost 20 years now. And it's weird to say that I like somewhat retired in my early 20s, but I branched off into the entertainment industry as a whole and became a, entertainment host and personality, and, TV and content producer,
Hmm.
which, has expanded there was a time where I thought if I wasn't going to be doing music, I was going to be doing nothing. I wasn't really good at school or anything else.
Yeah.
So it was really a blessing in disguise when I figured that I could branch out and actually be good at something other than be hiding behind my giant guitar.
Absolutely.
But I do miss performing. Performing live is probably the one thing I miss the most, from all of this. But of course, the writing process is a magic of its own.
Yeah, it's nice to get that pop from the crowd when you perform a song really nice, like instantly, opposed to like when you post something to social media and you don't get that instantly. You have to wait 3 minutes at least in order to hear what someone thinks about
It's
your
just
song, right?
it's an energy and a vibration that is really hard to explain if you're not a musician or a performer. It's really hard to explain that feeling that you get when
Absolutely.
you're on stage performing in front of. It doesn't even have to be a large audience. Even more intimate crowds have completely just moved me. And some of my most favorite shows have been small cafe gigs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. So you're quite the whiskey gal. What's your favorite kind of whiskey?
I thought you'd never ask. I'm drinking Aberfedley at the moment, which I love. I also love, I'm kind of like a branding whore. Like if the bottle looks good, I'm probably going to get it.
Yeah.
So I just, the bottle actually. Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't get me standing up because I'm like appropriate here down.
It's all good.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
So I don't know if you're a whiskey guy yourself, but this is one of my staples, Aberfedley.
Is it Scottish? Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a,
from the Highlands. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, Highland single malt, 12-year, aged in oak casket.
There you go.
I mean, I'm not going to pretend that that I have a very sophisticated palate, but I know what I like, and
Yeah.
this won't break the wallet, and it does taste very, very good.
There you go. Shout out
Yeah.
to them.
Yeah.
So Jess, obviously you do a lot of interviews and stuff like that. Can you tell me a little bit about like who you interview for? Like what's the company you're working for?
Yeah, so I'd like to say I work with
Yeah.
this crowdfunding company. their headquarters. They're based out of France in Paris, and they contacted me through this casting agency that I honestly forgot I was a part of. And they were like, hey, we need this like entertainment host chick to do some commercials for us and some ads and some branding and whatever. And like I mentioned previously, I had dabbled in that kind of stuff for many, many years anyway. So it started off by me doing a couple ad campaigns for them. They're essentially, I mean, in a nutshell, they're really a cooler version of Kickstarter or GoFundMe.
Okay, sick.
They're like a B Corp crowdfunding company too. So they're all about, women entrepreneurship, positive impact projects, green projects, not-for-profit projects, and musicians. Literally, their demographic. Oh, sorry, my gimbal just died. Their demographic is people like us.
Yeah.
So at first, I was just working on a per contract basis with them, but I think the CEO of the company really liked what I was doing, and then after courting me several times on a few coffee dates, they finally scooped me up. And now, I mean, my title is something ridiculous. I think it's like head captain and director of communications and content for North America, like something absurd.
I love it. You put captain in there. That's hilarious.
Well, I love that they put captain in there.
They put it in there.
I'm a highly nautical themed person, so I was down with it. So that led me to doing a bunch of really cool interviews and creating really cool content for people who inspire me, people who are like me, because I know what the struggle is like out there. I know it. I live it. So it's really cool to be able to be working with a really hearty, wholesome crowdfunding company that literally its sole basis is to help creatives get their projects funded. Yep. And I'm super stoked to be able to be a part of that. And it's allowed me to travel a lot. And I'm very lucky. I mean, even though I'm stuck and cooped up in my house right now, and some days are better than others, and like my mental state is taking a hit. Us creatives tend to wallow in our own darkness at times. But I do realize I'm very fortunate to not only have a job, but to have a creative gig that I like, that coincides with my inner beliefs and core values.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck, that was a mouthful, man. I'm sorry.
So, Jess, you got a couple singles coming out. Can you tell me a little bit about them? Tell the people who don't really know much about your music, like a little bit more of the sound that you are going towards in these next couple singles.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been in bands my entire life, and it's hard to define my genre really, because for a while I was a vocalist for hire. Mm-hmm. And I remember when dubstep, you remember when dubstep was the thing? I was like really picking up speed during that time and working with dubstep and EDM producers worldwide in around 2012. I think I was like #1 at the dubstep charts.
Really?
Oh yeah, I don't really like to like advertise that. It's not really my genre, but it was like paying vocal gigs from home.
Yeah.
Also, it's really cool to see some of the songs that I was a part of kind of like top the charts at the time when that was dope. But I wouldn't identify my personal sound as that. So depending on what bands I play with and what musicians I'm collaborating with, my sound can either, I'm a 90s chick to the core. Yep. So I'm very influenced by like the 90s trip hop, alt rock era. For anyone who knows Portishead or Massive Attack or anything of that like UK Bristol era of the 90s, I resonate with that deeply. And you can hear that definitely come through in some of my earlier works. Otherwise, recently, the past 5 years, I've been collaborating very closely with a very good friend of mine, Stephen Boyce, my partner, Malcolm Sargent, who plays lovely classical guitar. And so recently my stuff has been very total 180 on the genre, like more pop, bossa nova, jazz influence.
Yep.
Which is still super dope because I love it. I refuse to make music I don't like, and I know
Good call.
that's something that artists will struggle with forever, because it's like, okay, do I cave and make a song that's gonna like play on the radio, but it's just the same fucking cut and paste and chop it up algorithm? I'm really not that cookie cutter chick, and I never have been. And so now, at least with this more poppy bossa nova, I don't even know what subgenre you want to call it. It's something that I love, and it's something that at the same time can be used for licensing, radio airplay. And so I found a medium now that I'm happy with.
There you go. And as long as you love the music, that's truly what matters. I used to be a hip hop artist. I did it for quite a few years. And the one thing I found is, like, if I didn't love the song, I was so pissed off. Like, I would go like I'd put it out, and I'd be like, a week later, I'd be like, what did I just do? You know what I mean? Like, when you're not happy with it, it doesn't go as far. It's like a short-term thing, right?
Yeah, I've declined like paying contracts of just producers, whatever. Like, a lot of hip hop ones actually being like, "Yo, can you do a hook on this?"
Yeah.
And if not vibing with it, I really won't do it. I really won't do it. It's like a tattoo artist, having some, hey, can you do this butterfly tramp stamp tattoo for me? Some tattoo artists will be like, fuck it, it's a paycheck.
Yeah.
Other ones will be like, fuck no.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
So you're living in Montreal right now. You grow up in Montreal?
I didn't. I grew up on the outskirts of Montreal. I grew up in the Laurentians of Quebec.
Okay.
Rolling landscapes, huge agricultural farmer type of scene, very, very small town. And I hijacked it out of there right after high school.
Yeah, moved to the big city.
Yeah. And for me, Montreal was like the big city at the time.
So what's your favorite venue in Montreal? I was actually supposed to go out to Montreal. I guess it would have been like earlier this month for Puzza Fest, Punk Pizza Poutine. I was super excited.
Where are you based out of anyway?
I'm based out of Toronto.
Oh, you're in Toronto. Okay.
Yeah.
We're neighbors. Okay. Oh, I already feel so much better. We should have established that from the beginning. I mean, not that I would have been like, I've just been talking to so many, like I said, artists from like LA, New York, and Nashville, that I'm just like, I thought I was just talking to another American, but I should have known otherwise.
Yeah,
I'm surprised you don't have Maple Leafs jersey hanging up behind you, unless that is one.
It's actually it's a lacrosse team from my area, my neighborhood. So my roommate's a sports broadcaster. So because he's a sports broadcaster, we just get a bunch of free lacrosse merchandising and stuff.
Where are you based at? Because my bandmates, like the ones that I do like the alt rock 90s stuff with, they're based out of Scarborough, Ontario. Like right on the
They're the east end. I'm the west end. So I'm like Mimico would be my area. Etobicoke. Yeah.
Okay, cool. How far is that from the inner city?
Like, if I were to hop on a train, 5 minutes.
Oh, sick. Okay, that ain't good at all. I miss Toronto. I miss it so much.
Well, come visit one day. Come visit.
Yeah, once the zombie apocalypse is over.
Absolutely. What's your favorite spot in Montreal?
Yeah, favorite venue. Okay, let's see. Okay, sound-wise, I would have to say, hands down, Metropolis. Metropolis is the best. The Bell Center is like our, the big one where we have most of our headliners, biggest shows ever are there. But the sound is bullshit. It's never been great sound. It's our biggest venue. It's like the equivalent to, what is you guys, is the Staples?
The Scotiabank Arena, I guess. Like it's.
Yeah.
The Bell Center's a hockey rink.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So that's our biggest venue. It doubles as a hockey rink as well. And then also a venue for concerts, but Metropolis is the best sounding one. Second biggest venue as well. And then there's a bunch of like smaller ones that are also just really dope because they have a characteristic and just a vibe of their own, you know? They may not be the biggest, best sounding venue, but just the vibe, the smell of musty beer on the carpets alone is just has a history.
Yeah, I played in Montreal in the fall. I went on tour out there, and it was I played at a place in the French neighborhood called Entre Nous. Have you ever heard of it?
Wait, say it again.
L'Entre Nous.
Entre Nous. Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I haven't played it.
Yeah, I played there.
Cool. Was it
for not to beef them, but I'm not going back.
Yeah, it's not one I would recommend.
No.
Hit me up after, because I will give you like a good chain of like, if you're gonna play, like if you're gonna come down to Montreal for like a good 3 days or like 5 days or whatever, just to do a small tour, you know, and like link up with local Montreal people, I'll give you that list. I mean, who knows when things are going to be opening up again, though. I mean, but I'm out of the music, like out of the performing now. I actually took a step back from it and just said, you know what, I'm done for now, because I want to like go full in on something. So I'm going full in on the podcasting right now, and kind of loving it. So I don't think I'll be touring in Montreal, but I'll definitely be visiting Montreal to see bands and stuff like that and hang out and stuff. Well, now we've got, I mean, Montreal, very much like New York, is its own city that never sleeps. I mean, it's just festival after festival after festival.
So, I want to go to Foofs. That's my big...
Oh, boy. Okay, wait, how old are you?
I'm 26. 25.
Okay, you're okay. You know what? I shouldn't knock it. It's fine. It's just
Isn't it like the punk bar though?
It is if you're anywhere from 18 to 22.
Oh sure, yeah, no. I'm too old for that then.
I don't know. I mean, I used to go there when I was, barely legal. I mean, the place is just, it's notorious for sure. Yeah. I mean, you should definitely try it out. You should, but you'll see the demographic there is young. I don't know if the Bovine is the equivalent in Toronto.
The Bovine's not young people though. Like the Bovine is like, that's my baby. Like I love the Bovine.
So often.
I pretty much, it's my home away from home. Like
really?
Yeah. It's like it got me into music. What's that?
What kind of music do you listen to? Maybe you know the guys maybe you know some people I know.
Yeah, I listen to pretty much everything. I mean, obviously, like I was kind of like I want to say like I was stuck in a hole of hip hop for quite a bit, and I didn't really get out. But I also am like obsessed with punk. I love like alternative rock, singer songwriter stuff. I really like.
Okay. That was back in the day. I was really, I mean, my bandmates and like the group of people I was like surrounding myself with coincidentally were like the thrasher metal scene. Yeah. Between Toronto and Montreal are super tightly knit. Yeah. So like those metalhead kids. And so my bandmates who are now doing, we haven't jammed in a while, but their band is called Shotgun Cure, and they essentially lived at Bovine. Like that's where they lived.
I think I've heard of that band. I don't know off the top of my head, but that does sound very familiar. So
Shotgun Cure.
Maybe.
Honestly.
Yeah, my last year, out what's it called? In Toronto. Have you ever heard of a ska band by the name of KMan and the 45s?
Yes.
Okay, so those guys are my homies now. I love them. A couple of them slept on my couch when they came down last time. So I got to go to Montreal and party with those guys. It's a big thing on my list.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
That's Montreal ska royalty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Once everything opens back up again, we're linking up. We're gonna go out
Sounds good. I'm about it. I'm about it. So, tell me. So, what's your favorite food spot in Montreal?
Okay, let's see here. I'm super into Mexican food these days, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry I can't be all recommending like poutine as you
No,
Toronto
no, no, no. It's all good.
say. Poutine we call it over here. La poutine. Um, yeah, I'm kind of over poutine. I haven't had it in such a long time. It's one of those things you can't eat poutine during the day because it'll just make you feel like shit. You're
Yep.
eating a tub of potatoes and gravy with squeaky cheese.
With a
I
lot
mean,
of
that'll,
cheese.
yeah, you definitely can't eat poutine when you go on. It's just like the wrong. It's hangover food.
Yeah.
So I can't recommend that. Even though I mean it's heavenly.
Yeah.
The right place, right time.
Yeah.
I'm loving Mexican food these days. I love it. And there's a borough in Montreal called St. Henry. It's like a little district, and it's like and it's you know how every town has like Chinatown, Little Italy, whatever. It's like Little Mexico.
Okay.
It's got the dopest authentic Mexican places. There's Groomin, there's Taco Frida, Taco fucking. I know Malcolm, my partner, can hear me in the other room, and he knows I'm blanking on this. Fucking Taco Pablo Escobar, or whatever the fuck it's called. And then there's like this bar that's super dope. You would love it if you're into hip hop. They always 100% of the time I walk into this bar, tequila bar. They have live DJs every night. They have a great fucking salmon tartare taco shit thing going on, and foolproof. Every night they play the best music, best music.
That's sick.
Yeah. So those spots. If you're into Mexican food,
Love it.
St. Henry, you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Jess. Well, I appreciate you coming on the podcast. I like to keep these super short and sweet, but
Oh, wow, awesome. I was like, I gave myself quite the home pour. I was
well,
ready for like
you
an
enjoy
hour.
that rest of that glass. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, but thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It was really nice talking. And everybody who's watching, make sure you go check out Jess's socials. It's Jess Abran on everything. That's JESSABRAN. Everything.
Mhm.
Go check it out. She's awesome. All right. Thanks, Jess.
Thank
You have a good one, okay?
Cheers. You too.
Cheers. Okay, bye.